Episode 4. Behind Oscar, my uncle smiles in approval at the brute's show of strength and says, "I would listen to him if I were you. You've come into my territory, interrupted my son's mating ceremony, and demanded a member of my pack. I have indulged your insolence out of respect for a fellow alpha, but I'll remind you that you are an exile, and neither you nor your pack of vagabonds and riff-raff are welcome in these lands." Lies. Disgusting lies. My uncle never considered me a member of the Bane pack, let alone a member of his family. At best, I'm an indentured servant. Not to mention that it is not respect for a fellow alpha that quells my uncle's temper, but rather the knowledge that crossing Tristan will lead to war. Besides, Tristan's insolent demand is one that Viktor is all too happy to grant. Handing over a mutt to mate with an outcast alpha is probably poetic irony in his eyes, a fitting match between freaks. Tristan does not even glance at my uncle. Instead, he turns his attention away from Oscar and crouches in front of me so he is at my eye level. My knowledge of the mating bond is limited at best, and I've always assumed that since I do not have a wolf of my own, I would never experience it for myself. But as I look at him from where I've been tossed on the ground, I can feel it. I stare into his amber eyes, mesmerized by the golden flecks that seem to be scattered around his pupil, and I feel the pull, like a physical anchor between his soul and mine. It draws me into him, warming me from the inside out and making the world seem blurry and distant. And it terrifies me. "You are my destiny," he says to me softly, his voice like a caress that echoes in the back of my mind. "But I will not take you from your home by force. Life with me will not be easy. My pack has many enemies, and if you become my mate, you might never see your family or your old pack ever again. So, listen carefully. I will only make this offer once. I've never had someone look at me and truly see me. You have to understand that I've lived as little more than a shadow for 18 years, cold and hollow. Every single day up to this moment has been all about surviving. Hope, though, cares little for practicality or even self-preservation. It burns beautifully and consumes everything that you know, replacing it with sweet ashes and a delirious sort of faith. That's what I found when I met Tristan Lyle, king of the outcasts. It is not love at first sight and certainly not trust, but when he looks at me and offers me his hand, it gives me hope. Reject me now or come away with me. The choice is yours. I tear my eyes away from him to take in my surroundings, the Bane pack house with its vast courtyard, the dark little cellar that is my room and my prison, the uncle and alpha who thinks of me as nothing more than a shameful burden, the cousin who delights in my suffering, and the pack that would neither mourn nor miss me. This is not my home. It never has been, and these people, my so-called family, frankly, it would be a relief if I never see any of them ever again. Besides, even if I refuse Tristan, how can I trust that he will be true to his word? He has my uncle's blessing to do with me as he pleases, and Viktor will never forgive me if I embarrass him now by disobeying him after he gave me to the rogue alpha. Will either of them spare me if I reject Tristan as my mate? I'll be doomed either way. They say it is better to stay with the devil you know than to go with the devil you don't, but no one has ever given me the choice before. At least this will be a downfall of my own making. My decision, my life. The devil I chose. Tristan is kneeling before me, his hand patiently outstretched as he waits for me to determine my fate. After a long moment, I take it. The exiled king pulls me in close, draping my hand over his shoulder. His fingers slide under the bend of my knees, and my simple dress ruffles around me as he picks me up like I am little more than a rag doll. He stands with ease, and the crowd parts around us, letting us pass without question. "Take care, little king," Viktor says as we cross the courtyard. "And know that the next time either of you sets foot in my territory, I will not be so generous." Tristan doesn't even glance over his shoulder, not deigning to reply to the threat. Instead, he carries me out of the estate and away from my pack, leaving my uncle's final warning ringing in my ears. Soon enough, music starts up again in the courtyard as everyone returns to the celebration. Still, even the noise from the party fades in the distance eventually. Tristan says nothing the entire time, walking with ease and stoic determination, carrying me in silence until we reach the edge of the woods at the base of the valley. All my life, I've never ventured beyond this point, and I cannot help but wonder if I will ever see this place again.
Full story is available at novelpalace.com. Click the link in the comment section to get it free.